Okay, here we are, reaching the top. You can see the fire tower here.
It's a mile total.
And here's the view. Look at that.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to South Dakota. Today we are at Wind Cave National Park. So it is July the 22nd, 2024. We're here first thing in the morning. It's first thing we could get here in the morning. It's about 10:30 in the morning. So we're gonna do Wind Cave, and it's gonna be a little bit of a different experience than most people who come to Wind Cave National Park, because Wind Cave, the actual cave portion, is closed for the summer. So all of 2024, from I think May through that says late fall, there are no cave tours, so you can't actually do Wind Cave. So we're gonna do what you do when you don't do Wind Cave National Park and you don't do just the cave. You do all the stuff on land. They have a lot of stuff to do above the ground here at Wind Cave, not just underground. So we're gonna do all the above ground stuff today instead. So we'll have a reason to come back again in the future so we can go see the actual cave portion. So we're here at the visitor center, which is just over there. We're gonna get some idea of what we want to do driving wise. Most of these parks around here seem to all have some type of like wildlife loop that you drive and you get sights or views along the way, and then maybe we'll find at least one good hike we can do today. Do one good hike and hopefully we see some good animals. We've seen tons of bison so far in North, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming. We've been seeing lots of bison in these parks, so we're hoping we can see some elk. I think we just saw a pronghorn when we were coming in, so we'd like to see a little more pronghorn. Some of the rams, mountain goats, something like that. See something a little different would be nice. But if we get a bunch of bison, that's cool too. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll get in this visitor center and get a plan of attack here, and then we'll start showing you the park. Okay, so we went to the visitor center and talked to the ladies at the visitor center, and they gave us two good hikes to do that are within our range. So this first one here, we're gonna do Wind Cave Canyon Trail. It's not far from the visitor center. In fact, I think the visitor center is like somewhere just over there past these little hills. Not far. So this trail is about 1.8 miles. It's an out and back. We're not going to do the whole 1.8. We're just going to go, you know, a mile or so, give or take. And there is a couple of spur trails that go off of it, and there's a lot of trails that go really far out in the park. But we're just going to go about a mile or so and then come back, because there's another hike way up north in the park that we want to do. That's also a mile or two that we want to do. So we want to make sure we do that one as well with the nature drive they have that goes up north. So we'll get two hikes in this video. They said this one is relatively flat. The other one had some elevation, I think. So let's get Micah in his chair and start walking.
And I saw you walking
We've been hiking for about a half a mile now. We've gotten a little bit of some more cliffs here with some cliffs back there. It's very nice hike. I also like that we've gotten a lot of shade here. It's not a lot of the hikes out here, not a high level of shade out here in the Dakotas on these trails normally. So it's nice to get a trail. We've got some trees giving a little bit of shade, so it's just a little easier on us this morning. Nice morning walk. One thing I did want to bring up that the people at the visitor center told us about was two things. One, they said, and we had seen these, I guess, in North Dakota and some of the other parks, is like a single buffalo kind of just walking around, and you know, Rebecca's like, oh, he's so lonely. not exactly lonely. I guess maybe he is
lonely. He's looking for a mate.
So they said it's rutting season right now, so they said if you do see a single buffalo somewhere, it's likely a male searching. So they
are more likely to be more aggressive than ones in the herd.
Yeah, so they're supposed to be a little more aggressive right now, when especially the ones that are by themselves. So they said make sure you give them plenty of room. And they also mentioned, and we had seen this when we were in Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, is these are the trails, but you don't need to keep by the trails. So if you do see something, you want to go up and walk that way, like if we wanted to walk up to the top of that ridge right now, we could walk on up there. There's no problem with that. And so they said if you did see a buffalo in the way, they said just go ahead and give it a wide berth and walk around it however you need to do. So that is something important. And the other thing they said was that right now a lot of the trails have a lot of poison ivy on them, and the trails right now, they said, are not super well maintained that have the poison ivy on them. So they said this one was good, this one's maintained right now, and it's wide.
Yeah.
So they said that you shouldn't really have any problem with the poison ivy, just stay towards the middle. But they said there was a bunch of other hikes. They said, hey, all these trails here, the trails are, you know, very thin, and you can't help but brush up against poison ivy the whole time. So that's another reason why we did this hike and not some of the others, because there's probably one or two that probably would have been maybe a slightly nicer out and back, where we've gotten a little bit better views, but we would also have had to deal with poison ivy, and that's not how we roll. So we're gonna do this one and the other one. She said those ones should be good. So poison ivy season as well. I'm hoping that the reason why these paths aren't as maintained as they would like is because the cave is closed for the season, and they're probably just not putting as much money into the park because there's not going to be as many visitors, because, you know, half the people at least are coming just for that cave. If you can't do the cave, less people are going to come. So I'm thinking that's why there's just a little less maintenance probably this summer. And I don't think I mentioned why. Oh, look at that cave, that cliff wall there. It's nice. I didn't mention why the cave was closed, is because they're completely replacing the elevator system that they have down to the cave. So they said they're pulling the whole thing out and putting a whole new system in. So it's taking the entire summer and fall to do that. So hopefully, if you plan on coming to Wind Cave in 2025, you'll be able to come, and they'll have nice brand new elevators that'll get you up and down real quick, probably high capacity, so you get more people in and out. So that would be nice. So no caves for us on this trip. They said the only thing we could do is you could go to the opening of the cave, which they said is, you know, not a very big hole. It's an unimpressive hole in the ground. It just makes some sounds sometimes. They said don't worry about going, because they said if it doesn't make sounds, it's a waste of your time to really go, and they never know when it's going to make sounds. So we'll save that for the next time we come to Wind Cave. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to keep hiking here, keep enjoying these nice views before we turn around somewhere around the 1 mile mark. No wildlife yet, other than some chipmunks or whatever, but great scenery here with these rocks, these rock walls we've been going past. And I like that it's a nice wide trail here that is well maintained. What?
Thing.
You having fun, Micah? Yeah. He always enjoys himself when he gets his ride. Okay, back to some views.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise.
Okay, so we're getting to the end of this hike, and I think this is, we've been seeing a lot of this. I believe this is poison ivy. We've been seeing a lot of it in patches, so we've been trying to steer clear of it. It's not always right on the path, but at certain points it is. So we've been trying to stay near the middle, because Rebecca's also super sensitive to poison ivy. So if that is what it is, you let me know in the comments if that looks like poison ivy to you. We're getting to the end of the hike now. We're at about just over 1.7 miles, and we turned around at 1.1, so another little over a quarter mile left in the hike. Been a great hike. Not really much in the elevation gain, which has been good, but it is starting to get sunny, so we do have to watch for that. Yeah, see, this is the stuff I'm seeing. I believe that right there is poison ivy. You let me know in the comments below if I'm identifying that right. I have an idea what it looks like, but I'm not an expert. But I look for the 3 leaves, the little bit of red on the stems, and the shiny leaves, and those have been showing all 3 of those signs, so I just assume that's what it is. Okay, so we're gonna hurry up and get to the car here, and then when we get to the car, the next portion is driving the scenic road north out of the park here, and then there's at the end is another really good hike with a great view we're gonna do. So hopefully on that drive we'll get to see some wildlife, and judging by the map there's a lot of like curvy roads and stuff, so I think we're gonna get into some hills and maybe some good views and stuff like that. We will see. So let's go ahead, get in the car, get to our drive.
And the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You will be the last one I think about. When it all breaks down, I'll wait for you right here. And I swear that we got nothing to fear. It's a miracle that you and I find.
So we're here at the top of this little hill here. We just did the drive through, It was pretty routine. It was actually a little shorter than it looked like on the map. I thought it was going to be twice as long as it was. It was hard to tell. It only took us maybe 15-20 minutes to drive it. It was great views. It was different views than we're used to. A lot more mountainous and trees and such. But here we are at the end of the north side, so you can see here on the map. You go any further and you start heading to Custer State Park. But here we are. We just drove up here and parked here, and we're going to do this loop here, which is Rankin Ridge Trail. It is a moderately strenuous 1 mile loop trail, and there is a fire tower at the top, so we'll go up there. They said you can't climb on the fire tower, but it is there to see. So let's start this away and we'll get our loop going. You want to start us on the watch? Let's start our hike. The lady at the visitor center said this was one of the best views, was from the top of this trail, which is why we decided to do this last. It's a perfect way to end our trip here at Wind Cave. We're at Caveless Wind Cave.
It's a miracle that you and I are finally here. I saw you walking the light, and the truth may come as a surprise that with you I feel alive. You will be the last one to think about, the last one to think about.
Okay, here we are, reaching the top. You can see the fire tower here,
A mile total.
and here's the view. Look at that. Basically everything your eyes can see here, it's all Wind Cave National Park land. Look at that. Now, we were at Theodore Roosevelt National Park a few days ago, and you could see buffalo if you look carefully. And we've been peeking around and haven't seen anything that looks like a buffalo. They said if there were some herds, they were likely somewhere out there. There is a road or two that runs through there. I can see one way off over here. There is a road, but nothing so far. Let's go ahead and reach the actual top, so you can say we actually made it to the top. Let's see if there's some views on the other edge here. So on a clear day you can see Badlands 40 miles away to the east, and the other landscape feature shown in this photograph. Why is the visibility so good? Because there is little air pollution.
There's a herd down, if you look right about that direction, you see all the black blobs.
Yeah.
That's a herd of buffalo. They've got a
Nice.
bunch
Oh.
of calves with them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We saw a bunch of them yesterday, I think.
Why is the visibility so good? Because there is little air pollution.
Well, like that
As,
today.
as a Class 1 airshed, Wind Cave National Park collects data to identify conditions and trends in air quality, evaluates changes in visibility, and studies effects on plants, wildlife, lakes, streams, and soil. Ultimately, that affects humans and forests. So apparently, on days, you can see all the way to Badlands from here. So on the picture, Badlands is there. We can't see, I don't think we can see past these hills right now. You caught it? It is, you can see it kind of gets hazy here, and we've actually been getting weather warnings that the air quality is really bad right now. it's 160 today, if that means anything to you. It's poor. They said it's just the dust and dirt in the air. It's not like a forest fire or anything, and you can tell just looking over here, everything is just kind of hazy and cloudy. So the air quality is not very good right now, so we cannot see Badlands, but on a normal day you may be able to. So, but not today. So here's the way up on the fire lookout there, and we can see out this direction. And we did see, somebody pointed out to us, there is a herd you can see from here with binoculars. I mean, I can make them out. There's a clearing right here. I think they're just somewhere right about there, way out there. So that's about as good a view as we're gonna get of them today, because we're not gonna take our drive out that way. We're gonna head this general direction, which is to Custer, and should have a good chance at Custer State Park to see some of them. So I'm gonna wrap up the video here. If you like the video, hit the like button now. Comment if you made it this far in the video. Leave us a comment, just tell us you like the video, you were the first person to make it here, and comment whatever it was. Leave us a comment. We really appreciate that. And I'm gonna give you some views while I talk here. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. What are you doing? Subscribe now. We're still, what, 8 more days of traveling from here in South Dakota all the way back to the East Coast, and we're hitting up a lot of really cool destinations along the way. So join us by subscribing, and you'll get all those alerts when we release all those videos, and then you can watch them and comment and share with your friends and whatever.
See, Mike is very concerned that you're not subscribing,
Yeah.
so you should subscribe so that he's not upset.
See, that's his angry face because you're not subscribed yet.
He really wants you to.
So make sure you subscribe. Until then, we will see you in the next one.
Last one